will things end with the narcissist? Hello lovelies, welcome to narc-free-formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is one of the most kind of asked questions when people are talking about the new supply or when people are talking about the relationship they're having with the narcissist. Before I start, just please excuse the mess in the background. I've been, as my long-term viewers will know, I've been off YouTube for a little while. I had a child at home, chaos, sick, whatever. Anyhow, today's the first day she's back at school, so here we are. All right, lovelies, I've got some notes, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. Here we go, let's break it down. So, how will the relationship end if you stay with the narcissist? So, the first thing is, if you do stay, it will, you'll literally end up becoming a shadow of your former self. And what I mean by that is, if you put up with their abuse and neglect, their hot and cold, their game playing, their manipulation and lies, that stuff takes a toll on us. It takes a toll on our self-esteem, our self-value, self-worth. It takes a toll on our mental health, and the ongoing stress takes a toll on our physical self, so our actual body. So the first point is you could literally end up physically or mentally unwell. So I've known people who've stayed long term with the narcissist. I myself stayed 13 years. It took a huge toll on me physically. But I want to talk about someone that I know her personally. We'll just call her Sue. Obviously that's not her name. So Sue was with a narcissist, from a very young age. She was 21, I think they met, 21, and she put up with all of the lies. She turned a blind eye to all of the new supply that he had behind her back. She put up with a lot of stuff, being the good wife, I suppose. Anyhow, in their 40s, she ended up in a wheelchair. And at first, he, being the good narcissist he loved playing the hero, especially when there was, someone else to watch, someone else to see him being the hero, and because she was a good woman, every time he did anything for her, she'd be grateful, so he'd be getting fuel from that, and she'd be talking him up, in front of other people. Oh, he's so good, and he does this and that for me, whatever. So lots of fuel for him. But then, after a while, that fuel started to wear a bit thin, and the reality of caring for a disabled person who was in a wheelchair was, just too much for a narcissist. The attention is not on them, the focus is not on them, the energy supply, the fuel supply, it's not going to them. It's, it's being shared, it's, they're actually being needed. And so, like the good narcissist he was literally in front of this poor woman, continually sourcing new supply, flirting with other women, and trying to get someone to replace her. And the second that he did have someone who could step in to her shoes, she was replaced. So she gave him her, 20 years, 25 odd years of her life. Like I said, the stress and the lifestyle that they lived, ended up in a wheelchair and ended up being forgotten about. Basically, just totally forgotten about. Once he moved on to new supply, he didn't look back. So, this is, I say this stuff not to scare people, but, it's a reality check. Like, we need to snap out of this. This is not our happily ever after. And if you're looking at the new supply, that's not their happily ever after either. All right, lovelies. And also, like I said, so physically, you get unwell from the stress hormones. You can't have that much adrenaline coursing through your body. You can't be nervous all the time, or the highs and the lows. All of that stuff starts to really have physical repercussions, and you do get sick. And that is a fact. So, staying with them, you can get physically sick or just mentally unwell. I've also known women who have been institutionalized because they honestly thought that they were going crazy. But in actuality, it was the narcissist lying to them, the narcissist gaslighting them, and when they were figuring out what the narcissist was doing, the narcissist just doubled down and told them, no, you're being paranoid, you're being insecure, you're going crazy. And the narcissist will be the first person to check someone into the hospital, because once again, there's all that fuel that they get, for putting up with a crazy person. So ending up in a hospital, ending up in a mental institution or a psych ward, these are all possible outcomes, for the people who decide to try and stay with a narcissist. All right, so number 2, you stay and you put it all on the line for them. So you literally risk everything from your reputation, your job. Most women who stay long-term with a narcissist will lose their jobs because the narcissist has no boundaries. They will come to your work, they'll cause a scene, they'll ring your job 20 times a day, or when you're about to go to work, they'll start a fight, so you're in tears, you're late, or you ring in sick, you take too much time off work. They don't support outside hobbies. They don't support anything that doesn't revolve around them. So you having a job is just not, it's just not a thing for them. They don't think that is an okay thing at all. They want your attention solely to be focused on them. And even if you're the breadwinner, this is the other thing. So even if you are the money maker in the family, they will still do these same things because they enjoy the fuel they get from the stress and the anxiety that you go through. So the arguments that you have, the tears, all of that, fuel, yummy, yummy, yummy for a narcissist. All right, so you literally put everything on the line. Like I said, you lose your job, you turn a blind eye to the cheating, you lap up the abuse, you minimize it, you justify it, you say he was just having a bad day, he didn't really mean it. And like I said, this stuff affects your self-esteem and your self-worth and self-value. And before you know it, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you don't even recognize the person you've become. And the joke is on you, because you know what? Then the narcissist turns around and basically says, look at who you've become. Look at the person you are. You're nothing like when I first met you. Oh, you've put on weight, or, oh, you're this, that, or whatever. Whatever the thing is, like whatever trigger you have. And the narcissist knows the triggers. You're getting old, your hair's too thin. Whatever the triggers are about your body, about your state of being, the narcissist will pick on it, and they will basically put it in your face and say, use it to devalue you. Because once the idolization stage is over, you got to remember, relationships with narcissists are a cycle. Idolization, devaluation, and discard. But before the discard comes the replacement. They have to replace you. And this is another thing. If you're thinking about long-term with a narcissist, you have to understand that you will continually being suspicious, insecure, because your intuition is going to be picking up on what's actually going on. Yes, they are flirting with other people. Yes, they are getting fuel and attention from other people, and they are also trying to replace you, because new fuel is always much more potent than fuel that they know. So your fuel, just in the beginning, it was potent. And if you're a grade A supply, it's good fuel for them, that particular narcissist, right? But even your grade A fuel over time will not compete with B grade fuel that turns up, because it's new and it's exciting. So that adds more, it makes it more potent, essentially. All right, so like I said, you have to always, there's always new supply. So there'll be affairs, there'll be, you going through his phone, you wondering where he is, why he's late, all of that kind of stuff, driving yourself crazy. All right, this is the other thing. It doesn't matter if you let everything slide. So you literally just turn a blind eye to it all. You just soak it all up. You take all the abuse. It doesn't matter if you do that or if you fight every battle with them, if you try and keep them on their toes and try and keep them honest. Either way, they're still going to find something to devalue and dislike about you, because that's just in their personality disorder. That's the programming. They don't value other people. We don't have worth to them unless we're giving them something. So be prepared for any of your accomplishments in life to be devalued. You know, they don't care if you're a prima ballerina, or if you're, you know, a famous actress, or if you're, you know, a scientist who's discovered, you know, I don't know, life on Mars. Like, they don't care about that kind of stuff. It doesn't revolve around them or involve them, so it is of no value. And this stuff will eat you alive. It will absolutely destroy your soul if you stay in an environment that is so toxic, that is so, it's like trying to grow a garden, right? But not only is the soil barren, but someone comes out regularly and sprays it with toxic chemicals, right? And you're wondering why you can't grow your garden. And you have these dreams about creating a garden, you know, that looks like Eden and it has everything you ever wanted in it. You know, and you know if you just have this garden, it's going to be all you ever wanted. But regularly, weekly, daily even, out comes a narcissist with the negativity, spraying that poison around. You can't build anything with a narcissist. All right, the final point is, you could end up being the one who holds the hot potato. You know that game, hot potato, when you're a kid and you're literally passing the hot potato around, and then the music stops and whoever's holding the hot potato is it, whatever. It's like musical chairs if you don't know the hot potato story. So someone gets to be holding the hot potato. Someone's going to be the lucky one, you know, who it lasts for. And what I mean by that is, we're all getting older. The narc's going to get old, they're going to get sick, they're going to need someone to look after them, right? That lucky person can be the one who can proudly say, you know, oh, we were together for 30 years or whatever, we were together forever. The reality of that is, even in that situation, you will do all the work, you'll do all the care, you'll give all your effort, love, energy, concern, give it all to them, while they get to criticize you because you didn't do it right. And you know, they're sick, so you can't be mean and say anything. You know, you're just going to have to keep sucking it up, right? And they're going to flirt with the nurses in front of you and fantasize about the nurses too. Don't forget that. You know, when you're being intimate with a narcissist, don't ever think that it's about the two of you and what you're doing. You know, it's actually what's going on in their head. That's a different story and a different video altogether. But at the end of the day, the cycle is all the same once the idolization stage has passed, and that passes early, right? Once that is over, it is nothing but devalue and discard. So like I said, you might be the one who gets holding the hot potato at the end. Yay, wow, great. But I mean, this is life. Like, this is your life. What do you want to accomplish with your life? You know, you're never going to accomplish those things with the narcissist. I guarantee you that. So watch some more of my videos. You know, if you're still with the narcissist thinking, you know, maybe he can change, maybe things will be different, blah, blah, blah. Watch some of my videos, because that ain't going to happen. And if you are someone who's gotten away from the narcissist and you're looking at the new supply and you're wondering if you know that they're going to last, no. You know, or even if they do, like I said, even if they do end up being the one who's holding that hot potato, it's not going to be happy. It's not going to be a happy life. It's not going to be a life where they've accomplished anything. Their whole existence will have been running around after a narcissist, doing the narcissist's bidding. Between that and trying to figure out, what have I done wrong? Why is he ignoring me? Why doesn't he talk to me? You know, why is he flirting with other women? I mean, what kind of a life is that? Really, what kind of a life is that? So between hospitalizations, being driven insane, becoming a shadow of your former self, or getting lucked out with the hot potato life, this is how it ends. You know, this is how it ends. Or you could get narc free and then have a whole different story to tell. All right, lovelies. Thanks for watching. Bye.